What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be breaking down the new gameplay trailer for Battlefield 2042, and I'm actually going to go through each little section and just go a little bit more in depth on what we're actually seeing in each of those scenes. There is quite a lot to unpack in this trailer despite it being a lot shorter than the other one, and a few of us did actually get to see this gameplay trailer at the initial reveal event a week or two ago, so I luckily did have a bit of time to prepare for this one. So without wasting any more time, let's get stuck right into it. The trailer starts off here with some very quick clips, all of which we will see again throughout the trailer, so I'll touch on those parts once we actually get to them in the trailer. The first actual scene here starts off with someone riding along in a chopper, and the first thing I wanted to mention here is relating to the HUD. You'll notice that instead of just an A flag, there is now A1, A2 and A3, and this is one of the new features to Conquest where there's essentially more than one capture point on each typical flag or location on the map. So you can see down in the bottom left it has A, B, C, D and E. This looks to show that the player is currently in the A sector, and then like I said, there are actually 3 capture points now rather than 1, so it's almost like a miniature conquest within each capture point, or sectors as they're called. We can also see that 4-man squads are confirmed, and the score and capture points are all now on the minimap too, which I actually think is an awesome touch. I really like the look of this HUD since it's pretty much just the 2 bottom corners, and then the entire top half of the screen is just completely clean, whereas obviously in Battlefield 5 for example, the score and the flags were all displayed up top. Now, the map we're on here is Hourglass, which is the one with the red dust storm from the reveal trailer, and you can see that when the storm isn't there, this actually looks absolutely awesome, and it's really nice and bright. So I think this map is going to be pretty awesome to be able to have it looking like this half the time, and then looking like it did in the reveal trailer at times too. We then get our first look at some actual chopper gameplay, and this one is an Apache Warchief, as you can see down in the bottom right on the HUD, and then we'll get to see what it looks like in both first person and third person. And just like in Battlefield 4, it seems that there will be 2 seats in the Apache, one obviously being the pilot and the other one being the front gunner. Now, the chopper sees a pretty unfortunate end here, and we see this from the point of view of McKay, who is obviously one of the specialists that we know about. We know this is him not only because of the grapple hook, but I realised that it does actually mention his specialist name down in the bottom right of the HUD, and that is going to lead to some very interesting things later on in the trailer. We obviously get our first look at the grapple hook as well, which looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and then we also see a squad mate doing an execution or assassination, whatever you want to call it. And something interesting I wanted to mention about this is that in some of the gameplay that we saw before the reveal, when you do your own assassinations, it will actually move to a third-person view while the assassination is happening, similar to how it's done in Warzone. So I thought that was definitely pretty interesting that there will be some third-person elements in the game, at least in regards to certain animations, but I doubt there will be any proper third-person gameplay outside of just the regular vehicle stuff. Now, the player then gets on the end of the crane and looks out in the distance, and we can see that sandstorm rolling in, and I've just got to say, I think this looks absolutely phenomenal. The player jumps from the top of a skyscraper onto a crane, so he's actually higher than a bloody skyscraper, and looking at the sandstorm, he's still like a third as high as it, so that kind of shows the scale of this thing. It's going to be like 3 to 4 times the size of skyscrapers on the map, which are pretty massive themselves by the looks of it. The next shot also shows it in comparison to the stadium on the outskirts of the map, and again, I think this looks just absolutely unreal. The detail and just the sheer size is crazy, and I think all of the weather effects in this game are going to be absolutely mental. Now, moving on, we get to see our very first instance of the call-in system that I mentioned the other day in regards to the vehicles, where you can essentially just call in vehicles to your location rather than having to get them from the deployment. Now, I've seen a lot of people really like worrying and already complaining that this is going to ruin the game and it's just going to turn them into kill streaks from Call of Duty. This literally does not change anything about how the game already operates with vehicles, other than the fact that they can spawn closer to the battle rather than like 3 kilometers away from anything. There's no point system to unlock them. There's no way that like 100 people can all get a tank. It will work exactly the same as the current system, where there's just a select amount of vehicles allowed for each team at any given time, and if there is the ability to get a vehicle, you can call one in, or if your team already has the maximum amount, then you just can't get one. So hopefully that puts some minds at ease, because yeah, I've seen a lot of people sort of crying about this feature when literally all it does is just allow them to spawn here instead of there. It's actually quite a very small change in the grand scheme of things, and overall I think it will just help with the balancing. Now, we see a bit more vehicle gameplay here. There's nothing really too special about this section in terms of new mechanics or anything like that, but we do get to see the city in the sandstorm again, so as you can see, it looks much different now than how it looked earlier. Lots of cool action shots in this sequence, and then we finally get to see the tornado in the actual gameplay here, and as you can see, it looks absolutely massive. It seems to actually knock this chopper out of the sky and into a building, which could be part of the new physics system that they talked about, so you definitely don't want to fly too close to the tornado whenever possible. Now, as they enter the elevator here, we get to see the new plus system that I've talked about already on the channel. If you guys want an in-depth look at what that's going to be, then be sure to go and check that video out. But just to quickly summarize it, you can actually switch between a few attachments in-game, which is definitely going to add a new skill curve to the game, and I'm very excited to try that out and create some new awesome loadouts with it. Now, on the roof here, we see the same kind of move that happens in the reveal trailer, where they drive the quad bike at the chopper. Obviously, it gets blown up by the C4 here, so it is slightly different. But what I wanted to mention was that before it is blown up from the C4, the bike does actually knock it out of the sky like it did in the trailer, and this once again hints at the new physics system in Battlefield 2042. If this exact move was done in Battlefield 4, for example, the bike would probably still damage the chopper, but I don't think it would have knocked it out of the sky, at least not this violently anyway. So it seems they've definitely just added a touch of realism there, which is always a nice feature so long as it doesn't really make these like impossible to fly or something. But I think overall it should be a pretty awesome feature for the game. We then see the return of zip lines, which were a thing in Hardline, I think, but I could be wrong. I didn't really play all that much of that game, but I'm pretty sure it did have zip lines. And then we also see the use of the wingsuit here, which once again is in third person. And this character here actually seems to be called Sundance, which I'm going to be making an entire video on, as we might actually have a few confirmed specialists that have come from this gameplay. The tornado just does its thing at the end here, pretty much exactly what we would expect from a tornado, just causing absolute chaos and sucking up vehicles and players and everything. So that is going to be a lot of fun in game. Now, the last few scenes here quickly show a few different maps. We get to see Breakaway in game here, which looks great. We get to see Discarded, which is probably one of the maps that I'm most excited for. I believe this section here is actually back on Hourglass and inside the stadium, just judging by the look and the minimap as well. And then we see here that this character actually has a riot shield of some sort, but I'm going to save that one for the unconfirmed specialist video, as honestly I hate riot shields and I'd rather save that rant for another video. The end of the trailer here is on Orbital, which looks absolutely crazy. We get to see the rocket launching from all these different perspectives, and one thing I noticed about this map is that it looks much nicer and sunny than it did in the reveal trailer. So it definitely seems like the tornado can occur on this map too, or at least just like a regular storm like on Parasol Storm in Battlefield 4. But yeah, this map definitely looks like it is going to be pretty awesome. So anyway, that pretty much concludes the trailer here, guys, and overall I really loved this trailer, especially the music, which was obviously the same music as the leak. So I was pretty pumped when I saw this for the first time, as I did already know the music. Let me know what you guys thought of the trailer down below, as I think this is going to result in some very torn opinions, to be honest. A lot of people love the look of this game, and a lot of people are saying it's changing too many things and stuff like that. So let us know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, probably tomorrow or the next day I'm going to be uploading a video on a few extra specialists that I think this trailer pretty much confirmed, and talk about what their specialties might be, and there's going to be a lot of other content coming this week as well. Mostly talking about some of the stuff that the devs mentioned to us in the early reveal, which is all pretty awesome and exciting info, so keep your eyes peeled for more. That is going to do it for this one though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.